What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have some more of the Crew 2. I told you the spam was not gonna stop with this game. I'm so excited and I have so much content to show off with you guys. It would be stupid of me to slow down the videos. There's so much more to show you, and today we're gonna show off one of the starter cars within the game, and that is this Mazda Mx5. And for those that are petrol heads and know their chassis codes, this is the ND, the Mark IV, the most recent edition of the Mx5, or the Miata as you Americans call it. And we're going to go ahead and customize this car, and this car actually, funnily enough, had a lot more customization than the regular car in the Crew 2. The MX5 is obviously something which is a bit more lower end, and for sure, you can definitely tell with the performance parts and the upgrading, there's a lot more of it with this car compared to, say, something like a Regera or an Agera or a Veneno or something across those lines. There's a lot of parts to this car, you know, fender flares, big spoilers, intakes on the headlights, and we're going to show all that off in this video. Now, this was actually the first car that I customized when I got to the event, so everything, like, you know, everything compared to the other videos I made about regarding customization might be a bit slower, because I was kind of taking everything in as I was customizing the car. As previously mentioned, this is one of the starter cars in the game. My memory is going to be really shit now, and I'm not going to be able to tell you what the starter cars are. I know the Mazda MX-5 is one, and I know a TTRS is one, and obviously, me being me, I was always going to pick the Mazda. I just thought it'd be something a bit interesting. I know a lot of other people are going to pick it, and because there is so much customization on the MX-5, you know, if I was watching a YouTube video to find out what the best one would be, and I like customization, this would be probably the one I'm going to pick. And as you can see from the 30 front bumper options, yes, there's a lot of variants of bumpers, but regardless, intake lights on every single variation of bumper, little bit mad. Just if you ask me, as a tad bit mad. Then you've got the kind of Rocket Bunny-esque fender flares, which are really, really cool. The whole unlicensed rims. I've talked about a lot of this in other videos. I will link a playlist down below if you want to watch more of the Crew 2. But there is so much customization on this car. I'm not necessarily surprised because it is a lower end car, and Mazda seems to be really good with customization generally across the board with every game, like, ever. Like Mazda, Nissan, the Japanese brands generally, other than Toyota, and we know the problems with Toyota, they all seem to be pretty, like, lenient on customization. I guess that's possibly due to the culture they live in. Obviously in Japan, customization and stuff, it's a lot different than it is in the Western world. But that's me, like, kind of sidetracking a bit. With this car, I kind of wanted to give it not a time attack look. A time attack looks really, really OTT and, you know, big wings, big canards. This is kind of a bit, it's kind of the level under time attack. It's that one guy that takes autocross, like, way too seriously on the weekends. That's kind of the type of car that I wanted to make it look like. I wanted to make it look like a street racing car, something which you could probably see in an older Fast and Furious film, but not, like, you know, ugly like most of the cars from older Fast and Furious films. I was honestly really surprised by some of the customization available on this car. Like the hardtop, was not expecting the hardtop to be an option. One annoying thing about the hardtop though, is if you do want to put that, you have to put the rear fenders on. You can't just put the hardtop on, and that was something which was a bit annoying. But for me, I was going for the kind of Rocket Bunny wide fender flared look, so it wasn't too much of an issue. And as you can see, I did put a big wing on it because I just thought that made sense. And then if we go over to the back bumper, you can see there's 33 different rear bumpers. The Crew isn't a game about customization for me. I don't think it's the best game for customization. If you want customization, you go to Need for Speed. But the amount of customization that is in there is really, really cool. For me, I'm not going to play the Crew 2 for its customization. If I want to do that, I'll go to Need for Speed, because Need for Speed's got licensed parts. It's got a lot more parts generally. That's fine. What I'd go to the Crew 2 for is its gameplay, its racing, its kind of motorsport, you know, everything around surrounding that. But with this MX-5 at least, I would say for this specific car, it rivals how much Need for Speed has, if not more, and that is a bit mad. Anyway, if we do go ahead and, you know, carry on with gameplay, move on, you can see that I'm looking through the vinyl editor. Now, the vinyl editor is really, really interesting. You can see a bunch of presets which have made their way over from the last game in the exclusive section, but now you can actually get your hands on it, and you can actually see what you can do in the vinyl editor, and it's actually pretty freaking awesome. Now, it is quite complicated to use, and I was actually going to do a little vinyl thing here and there, but it's quite complicated and quite hard to get used to. And obviously at a recording event where you've got limited time, I didn't have time to sit down and make a proper vinyl. I wanted to make a proper kind of like drift vinyl for the car, a wrap for the car, but obviously because we had limited time, I didn't want to waste too much of my time. So I'm going to come back to that, and we're going to do that in the beta instead. But with that being said, now I do want to show you guys some actual racing gameplay. I haven't shown much of that off in this game, weirdly enough, even though I have quite a lot of racing stuff to show off. So I do want to show you guys, you know, some actual racing and some driving of this car. So we're going to go ahead and switch to that now. Now, I assumed a few people were probably gonna want to hear what that car sounded like, so that's why I left that playing. But anyway, now we're gonna see some very, very interesting gameplay. This is actually from one of the transforming races. So this is one of the races where you will change from a boat to a plane to an off-road car. I'm not gonna show the full thing here because I do want to kind of make a dedicated video on this, you know, compiling clips from a bunch of different races like this. It's really pretty cool. It's one of those things, like, obviously now with the crew having boats and planes and, you know, all the other things that we've talked about many of the times on the channel, it adds so much more to racing. You don't have to just be a good racer now for some of the races. You got to be good in boats, you got to be good in planes, you got to be kind of multi-talented, and to really master all the disciplines, it's going to take quite a while. But as you can see here, I do want to apologize for the absolutely trash racing. I was awful in this race. This was like, I don't know, about an hour in, so I hadn't played the game for that long. I was still doing pretty trash. There's no excuse other than I just wasn't used to it. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, to become really good at this game, you're gonna have to, you know, practice a lot. There's a lot to this game to learn, and that's something which I really like about The Crew 2. There's a lot of nuances in the game which are gonna take a while to learn, and there was a lot of that kind of stuff in the original The Crew. Like, did you know in the original The Crew, if you NOS after a jump, you're gonna get a little extra boost? I'm sure a lot of people didn't know, like, little intricacies like that, and I'm sure this game is no different. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna let the rest of the gameplay play, because I'm sure you guys want to hear some of what this MX5 sounds like. So, but that's been it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.
Can a driver rocketing into first like that still be called a challenger?